You're watching Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks with Mike and Maria Keiser. Because sometimes you feel like your business is being held together by duct tape and popsicle sticks. On this show, you're not going to hear the latest business fad. You're going to get useful information that you can apply to your own business right now.
Hello and thanks for watching another unbelievable episode of Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks. I'm Mike Keiser, along with a woman whose dream job is to be an Elvis minister in Las Vegas. Maria Keiser, how are you today?
You know, I find myself just waiting the whole time you're introducing. Like, what is he going to say?
And a little insider, I typically don't know what I'm going to say until I hit record on the camera. So it's a surprise for both of us.
All right.
But anyway,
let's get back to things.
As usual, everything you need to know how to reach us, how to interact with the show, how to get to our website is in the show notes below the video. Even more importantly, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. But I want to get right to this because there is something that we have found to be so valuable as a marketing tool. The most valuable marketing tool for us and for most people we know, but for some reason we've rarely talked about it, and that's public speaking. And I mean all forms of public speaking, which we'll get into a little bit later in the video. And I know for some people, public speaking feels like a fate worse than death.
Yeah.
But if you can find a way to get around that, if it's a problem for you, because talk a little about what some of the value of let's call it public presentation, because I don't want to make it just sound like standing in front of a room is the only form
you
of
get
public.
That vision of when you have to do your report in front of the classroom.
Right, picture everyone in their underwear.
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of value to public speaking. One, it creates some major credibility. If you're in the front of the room, people are looking to you, and now you are suddenly the expert. It also is an opportunity for people to get you to know you better. You know, if you think about when you're in business, your friends, the people that are close to you will call upon you if they need that particular thing, but you can't be friends with everyone. So this jumpstarts that relationship for folks.
That's a good way to word it.
When people hear you speak or they hear you talk about things in your industry and they see that you're intelligent about it, then they do start to form a bond with you. And it's quite interesting, you know, even people that came across somebody last week who's been watching our Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks episodes, and he knew so much about us, and you know, and he was talking to me in a very familiar way. So it's very interesting how people do start to develop a relationship with you. It's also a great way to show people what you do. You know, people might not be as educated in your field, so they might, you know, put an umbrella across it. Oh, well, they do this, and they might not know the nuances or details, and you can share that when you are doing public presentations. Share
in a form of sharing expertise, not selling necessarily.
Right.
Like you're selling without selling, because people they're forming an opinion of you. And like you said, I love the way you talked about people start to feel a familiarity that they wouldn't otherwise.
Right.
So there's a lot, and we've also found, just a side note, when you get video of public presentation, you can chop it up and use it as promo pieces.
Sure.
So I said earlier, we don't just mean like standing in front of an audience and giving a lecture. It could be and some people worry, oh, well, maybe I'm not in the right industry.
Or maybe I'm not smart enough.
But you could talk at trade events, you can talk at other local business events, you can create your own events. That's something that we've done. You can speak at chamber events, you can do keynote talks. Media is a wonderful way to share your expertise. It's priceless advertising. Doing a podcast, being a guest on a podcast. So anyway, regardless of industry, right? Do you think industry matters at all?
I would say there's something interesting about almost every industry, right? If you're a tailor, maybe you could talk about how to identify the right kind of clothing, you know, high quality clothing without maybe spending a lot of money. Or if you're a cleaner, maybe you could talk about, you know, this type of cleaning will disinfect and this type of cleaning won't, or, you know, you name it. So there is something that people would find interesting about what you do. And and share that information.
Right, there's a target audience for you. So please strongly consider figuring out how you can weave public presentation into your marketing plan. It works wonders.
Well, you know, something even so simple, most networking groups will allow you to do a 10-minute presentation every couple months or so. So have that be your foray into public presentation. See how that goes. Feel your audience out. What would they be interested in?
And I'm glad you said that, because if somebody's saying, well, I'm terrible at it, I mean, it's going to sound like this is something you heard in 3rd grade, but we're all terrible at stuff before we do it a lot.
Right.
So that's a great way to practice. You just got to practice. So consider that. But anyway, I would say that just about wraps us up, right?
I think so.
Perfect. Thanks again for hanging out. We really appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, you've been watching Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks, where we make your business better 3 minutes at a time.
Ciao for now.
You're watching Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks with Mike and Maria Keiser.